we've talked about the categories of schizophrenia symptoms. We've talked about the categories of diagnosing schizophrenia. Now we need to address these schizophrenia-type disorders that aren't true schizophrenia. The reason that all of these exist is there really is a push right now to start viewing schizophrenia on more of a spectrum, right? It's not just you don't have it or you do. We're starting to realize more and more there's quite a bit of in-between space here. And this is where a lot of these disorders come in. So the first one to talk about is schizoaffective. Schizoaffective disorder is when you're having a lot of the schizophrenia symptoms, but you're also having major mood episodes. So you're having those symptoms, but then it's layered on top of depressive symptoms, on top of manic symptoms. And this is above and beyond the set amount of negative symptoms that you need for a schizophrenia diagnosis. This is enough where it truly is like a major depressive episode happening alongside the schizophrenia. The next schizophrenic-like disorder is schizophreniform. So a lot of professionals consider schizophreniform to be a stepping stone towards an eventual full diagnosis of schizophrenia. If you remember from what your textbooks have talked about in diagnosing schizophrenia, the symptoms need to last 6 months or longer for a diagnosis to occur and for them to be persistent, not coming and going. With schizophreniform, what you see is that the symptoms are only active for less than 6 months. They need to be there for at least 1 week for this to be diagnosed, right? So this can't just be like a day of something being bizarre. So they need to be present for at least a week, but shorter than 6 months. Now, what we have come to realize is if you're having schizophrenic episodes, schizophrenic type episodes that are still lasting several months, even if it doesn't get to the full 6 months, again, a lot of times this is a step towards an eventual diagnosis because we do often see a trend of those episodes getting longer and longer and longer until they do reach that 6 month mark. And there can be a full schizophrenia diagnosis. So this is basically like a brief schizophrenia. The next two are personality disorders. So these don't technically fall under that umbrella of the psychotic disorders. So that makes them a little bit different. And remember, the key marker of a personality disorder is that it's pervasive, right? It's right under the surface all the time. It's like it's a part of your personality. That's why they call them personality disorders. It's always there. It's not coming and going. So the first one is schizotypal personality disorder. Now with this one, there are cognitive distortions. So there's magical thinking, there's bizarre fantasies, there's ideas of reference. Now, note that what's used there is ideas of reference and not delusions of reference. And the way we differentiate this is in someone with full schizophrenia, a delusion of reference will result in a behavior change. So this isn't just, I feel like there's secret messages being communicated to me on the news, right? They wouldn't have that thought and then go on. It would be, I feel like there's secret messages being communicated to me on the news, so I'm going to record all the news sessions, I'm going to watch them and rewatch them and take notes and fill notebooks with decoding these secret messages. It's going to change their behavior. With schizotypal, we don't see that. They'll have the delusion, but then there's not a huge behavior change that follows it up. It's a thought. You will see major deficits in social and interpersonal skills and discomfort with personal relationships. And there can be a few things behind this. It can be due to suspicion or paranoia, feeling that somebody's out to get you. It can be due to the fact that they do believe in magical thinking. So there would be the idea that, close my little window here. There would be the idea that when I met her the other day, I thought that her shirt was ugly. And because I had that thought and was judgmental, now the universe is punishing me and there can't be a friendship there. That's why I can't make friends, because I had bad thoughts about people. So those are some of the reasons that can underline their interpersonal difficulties. And the last thing is individuals with schizotypal personality